thinking about moving to Charleston, South Carolina? Well, Mount Pleasant is the #1 place everyone wants to be. Today, we're going to talk about why. We'll talk about the real estate, we'll talk about the prices in Mount Pleasant, and we'll talk about the lifestyle of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Hey, if you want behind the scenes info on what it's really like to live in Charleston, South Carolina, hit that subscribe button because we post videos about different areas of town every week. I'm Matt O'Neill, a local to Charleston. I'm a real estate broker, and I help people make a good move to Charleston, South Carolina. And Mount Pleasant, well, it's the #1 place I get asked about when people are thinking about moving here. Let's dive into what it's really like here. The reason people love Mount Pleasant is because, well, it's really pleasant. It's super close to downtown, the city, and it's super close to the beaches, Isle of Palms and Sullivan's Island. That's why people want to live here. They want to be close to the city or close to the beach. But I want to hear from you. In the comments below, write either city if you want to be close to Charleston or beach if you'd rather be close to the beach. But here's the real truth. Mount Pleasant is not cheap. Because everyone wants to move to Mount Pleasant, the prices have escalated quite a bit. In this video, we'll talk about what an entry-level home costs, what a mid-level home costs, what a luxury home costs. But because we're close to the beach, because we're close to downtown, because it has great schools, and well, because it's like living in vacation to live in Mount Pleasant, everyone else wants to move here. You need to be in the know, and we're going to talk about 3 tips about how to make a smart real estate buying decision in Mount Pleasant. Let's get into it. Tip 1, know your micro neighborhoods in Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant isn't just one community, it's made up of many micro communities. Closer to downtown, you've got an older section of Mount Pleasant known as Old Village. That is the most desirable part of Mount Pleasant because it's right next to Shem Creek, where you've got all the bars and the fun and the nightlife. And it's really close, 5 minutes to Sullivan's Island. It's really close, 10 minutes to downtown Charleston. Old Village is a really amazing pocket, but it's really, really pricey. In the mid-tier or mid-section of proximity in Mount Pleasant, you've got neighborhoods like Snee Farm, which is an older neighborhood that has a golf course. You've got Brickyard, you've got Hamlin Plantation, and you've got Seaside Farms. Those neighborhoods are a little bit less expensive than Old Village, but they each have their own kind of micro community and vibe and feel about them. Then in the best value section of Mount Pleasant, you have North Mount Pleasant. North Mount Pleasant has neighborhoods like Rivertown, another golf course, Charleston National, another golf course community, Carolina Park, Park West, and Dunes West, and Oyster Point, which is newer. Those communities make up North Mount Pleasant, and they also have their own vibe and their own feel. So you got to really know your micro community when you're looking in Mount Pleasant. Tip 2 for buying well in Mount Pleasant, you got to know your price points. Here's the deal. Mount Pleasant is one of the most expensive parts of Charleston, and for good reason. Let's talk about what's the entry level. The entry level to get into Mount Pleasant starts at about mid-600s. That'll get you a house that's about 1,800 square feet in good condition. You can get a condo in the 400s, but that's kind of the entry level to get into a place in Mount Pleasant. Then we've got our move-up homes, that mid-tier of prices. Those are going to be the 800s to about 1.2 million. That's where you're moving into more like a 3,000 square foot house. And you might be a little bit further away in that North Mount Pleasant area to get something really, really nice in that mid-tier. Finally, we got our highest price points. Those are your luxury homes. And those prices are 2 million plus. I mean, 2 million up to 5 or 6 million. And that'll be the highest end. You might get deep water with a dock. You might have a marsh view or in another really desirable neighborhood like Old Village or Old Park. And that's our luxury pricing tier. So if you could see yourself living in Mount Pleasant, close to the beach and close to downtown in one of these amazing luxury homes, tap that like button. Let me hear from you. Tip number 3 for buying well in Mount Pleasant. It is all about location, location, location. If you want to have amazing resale on your Mount Pleasant home, I suggest you target neighborhoods that are closer to downtown or target neighborhoods that are closer to the beach. These will be a little bit older, more established neighborhoods, But in real estate, location is everything. So if you could get into, say, Cooper Estates, or if you could get off of Wingo Way, there's neighborhoods like Scanlonville or Oak Haven or Old Village or Ion or Old Park. All of those are really close to downtown, and those are going to hold their value over time. They'll be really strong investments in Mount Pleasant. Or if you could get close to the beach, like Hamlin Plantation or Oyster Point or Seaside Farms, and be off a rifle range and really close to Isle of Palms, those will always be attractive because they'll be close to the beach. So in my opinion, the best way to spend your money for long-term value in Mount Pleasant is to be closer to downtown or closer to the beach. So in summary, the first thing you need to know when buying well in Mount Pleasant, number one, know your micro neighborhoods. Number two, you got to know your price points. And number three, proximity to the beach and downtown will hold its value the longest. And if you don't quite know where to land in Mount Pleasant and you want someone to hold your hand through it who really knows the area, reach out to me. Just go to mattoneillrealestate.com or call 843-619-0401. We want to help you make a wonderful move here to Mount Pleasant. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the newest news on Charleston real estate. We post new videos about what it's really like to live here in Charleston every week. See you next video.